Hi everyone, Raphael Harry here, and you're listening to White Label American, a podcast where we hear stories from an immigrant or two, sometimes more. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show. So, welcome to another episode of White Label American. Thank you all for joining us today, and appreciate each and every one of you who's out there on the front lines during these interesting times that we find ourselves. And we appreciate everyone who's been showing love to the podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you who's taking time to give us 5 stars, writing reviews, awesome reviews. Appreciate each and every one who's, taking time to share the podcast with their friends, families on social media. We just say thank you. And, from the bottom of my heart and from my team, we just say thank you, thank you, thank you. So today we have a lovely guest who has been one of my, the guys who are in the shadows, giving us support and making me look good. I don't go to the studios now like before, but, every time I'm in the studio, once in a while, you see me in some nice outfits and you're wondering where it comes from. Yeah, this is one of the guys behind it. And the way we came in contact with an interesting story that I'll get into down the line, but it's thanks to another content creator, the Black Experience Japan. So I have to give him a shout out. And after I watched his appearance on this video, on a Black Experience Japan video, I reached out to him, and a nice gentleman, and he responded. And since then, we've always been in touch and in contact, and that's how I came to know today's guest. So today's guest is Desi Shedrick. He's a United States Marine from Texas. He's lived in Hawaii for 8 years due to being stationed on the island, and left for Japan in 2012 and has been there ever since. Studied Japanese for 2 years and taught English to kids and adults. Started a clothing line brand to give people something to feel proud of themselves. I always feel extra special in his outfits, so I can testify to that. So, konnichiwa, Desi-san. That's all my Japanese.
That'll work.
So, where in Texas are you from?
From Port Arthur, Texas, home of the UGK.
UGK. See, that's another thing I've forgotten about, but thanks for bringing it up. That's how huge Texas is. There's so many things that hides in Texas that, it's so easy to just look at Texas and say Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Alamo, the Alamo, yeah, you can do, but
yeah, right.
But it's so easy to just paint Texas in one brush.
Oh yeah.
And forget that there's a whole lot more that happens there. And sometimes it's, I guess, the way we tend to look down on the South for different reasons that makes us, and I'm guilty of that too. I lived in Dallas, in Grapevine, in the Dallas DFW for 2 years, and I didn't have good experiences there. And at the same time, I wasn't in the right frame of mind after I got out of the military. So there are things that I don't tend to look back on positively, and I just use that to generalize the whole area because I did not allow myself experience the good.
Right.
I don't use that to, I refuse to. I've never brought that school of thoughts to say there's plenty of good that I denied myself from experiencing because I wasn't in the right frame of mind to go out and experience, and then I'll say, oh, the whole place is bad, that kind of thing.
Right.
I use that brush to paint a whole lot of the South, So I have to tell myself, it took a while for me to reach out and tell myself, stop painting the whole area bad just for that, just because we have a whole bunch of bad experiences. Because even up north, we still have a whole lot of bad going on. It's not like we're all good up here. So
exactly.
Yeah, that's one reason why I was like, you know what, Desi is a good person to bring on the show. So with that being said, jumping back to the reputation of Texas on the outside, what's your childhood experience like? And does it match the reputation or the stereotype that most non-Texans assume?
I would say like my upbringing was more like I mean I was raised with just a single parent, just my mom and my brothers and sisters. But I mean like on the other end of how the Texas is like a whole, I think everybody think is like we like number one, we the best. We gotta come in first all the time. That kind of like stereotype in my head. So it's just like even like in sports wise, like in school, like those are the things. Like you gotta try to be in first all the time. We gotta beat all these other schools. We can't be we can't be, be slow,
Hmm.
like we always gotta try to come in first, everything. So just kind of like that competitive edge, like being in Texas and being brought up in the school system and stuff. So even though we ain't have some schools that I went to, we didn't really have a lot of like really good equipment, whatever. But the coaches they did what they could. But at the end of the day, we still produced. And then I guess they started giving us funding for our sports. So it's like, all right, cool. Now we got money. Start getting better equipment. So then we start. I'm about to curse. I ain't want to curse, but but we start really showing our true colors. Like, oh, then the coaches start seeing it, people start seeing it. Then it's like, oh man, yeah, okay. Now we see what y'all can do. Now, all right, cool. That's what's up. That's what's up. So yeah, just think a lot of competitive. Like we always had that edge. Just always try to
Yeah.
be first and everything.
Mm. So I feel like that ties into the next question. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Oh man, I'm trying to think. I think it's more like it's kind of like a funny story though, to be honest. Like, I think what was that? I think I was learning how to ride a bicycle. And I was with my little brother and my older brother. And no, never mind. Sorry about that. It's a different thing. I think I had some cowboy boots on, right?
Ooh.
I had some cowboy boots on. I don't know why I had some cowboy boots on, but I think my little brother did something, or my older brother did something. I had my boots on, and I went to go chase him, right? And like they was right in the alley, and I went to go chase him with the cowboy boots on, and then a car was coming at the same time. And I was like, oh, like I hope I can stop because like I never ran before no cowboy boots. I kid you not, man. I slid so hard and quick on that gravel. Like I think maybe I was probably like 10 feet away from almost hitting the car, but I was lucky. I was saved by the cowboy boots. The cowboy boots slid me into the right way. I could just slow down, and it was kind of funny. Like me and my brothers and stuff, we always kind of talk about that stuff. Growing up,
the,
still.
the boots did its job.
Yeah,
It worked.
definitely. That it had the spurs to it, but it still did its job though.
So, well, for everyone out there, get you some cowboy boots. Might save your life. I need to get
Exactly.
them. Back when I was in Nigeria, that used to be like one of my when I was a kid, that used to be like one of my dreams. Like I want to get me a cowboy boots, I mean, hat, and then by the time I was in a position where I could afford to, I was like, now I'm an adult. Now I don't need them.
Right.
Now maybe I should go get me. Now I think I
Yeah.
might still end up buying me cowboy boots too.
Yeah, I think I might buy another pair one day when I go back probably.
So when I moved to Texas, that was it was 2012. I moved to Texas, and
Mm.
I'd just gotten out of Navy, and I remember driving into Dallas, and I was going by the GPS directions, and then I can't remember what that highway is called, but I remember
Mm.
driving in. I came in from Arkansas, and I finally get into Dallas, and I'm looking around on the highway, and I'm like, wait a minute, I was thinking that my car was going. I was driving a Mitsubishi Galant, and I was like,
Mm.
wait a minute, I was thinking my car was going to be like the smallest car. I'm looking
Right.
around. I'm like, wait, I mean, they're smaller cars than mine. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what's going on? I thought I was in Texas. So that was like the first misconception that got out of my mind. Like, why are there smaller cars than my car in Texas?
Right.
So, what's one misconception about your part of Texas?
Oh man. Ooh, that's a good question. For real. Trying to think. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say one thing, but I think it's probably gonna be. I think it'll be kind of twisted, but I think. Mm, oh, I think some people still think we still wear what was that like cowboys or something like that.
Mm, yep. Cowboys
Everybody know
riding horses
cowboy.
around.
Exactly. Exactly. Like
Everybody got a gun.
exactly. I mean, everybody still got a gun though.
Yeah, everybody got it. Well, most people, I met people who didn't have guns. I was surprised. I think that still surprises me when I
Right,
get a text and
right.
it was like, I don't own a gun. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. I feel like almost every home in Texas probably got a gun now.
Well, I lived in an apartment complex. I think if you own a house and you say you don't have a gun, I'm still like, wow, I'm surprised. But
Yeah, yeah.
apartment complex, yeah, I was kind of surprised. Most people I knew there were like they didn't have a gun. I didn't own a gun when I was
Mm,
there, so yeah. But I've never been someone to own a gun. You know, that don't mean you should come
mm.
to my house. You might be surprised what happened to you.
Right, right, right. So I got you. Don't worry, I got you.
Yeah. I got surprises. I'm just gonna say that. That's where I'll leave it at.
Right, right, right. That's perfect. Keep it secret. Hey,
Yeah.
keep it secret.
So you were so in Texas. That's when you decided to join the Marines, right?
Yeah. Oh man. So with that, it was kind of like a actually, was supposed to join the army with my older brother because I saw him join the army. I was like, oh, let me join the army, and I signed up the paperwork and everything with the army. But the army recruiter was like, I went to go see him one day, and he wasn't in the office. So
Oh,
all of a sudden, this Marine recruiter was like, got that fishing line. Like, hold on, hold on. Oh,
yeah.
he leaving? Come back here, come back here. He wheeled me in like a sucker.
I've had that story too many times. One too many times. They almost got me. They almost got me like that once. But I already signed. That's why they couldn't get me.
Right? Yeah, I wasn't even signed yet. It was like, dang. So, I got a draft pick right here. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, I got you. And he pulled me in his office. He started talking to me. Man, I changed my mind so quick. I was like, dang. Like, I did him. It was so messed up. And I was like, dang, he changed my mind in like under 30 minutes. I was like, dang, like, what the hell? I was like, man, this is crazy, bro. Like, I was tripping out so hard. I was like, oh, man. He did all this little magical stuff. He got
Hmm.
to do password. I'm like, how you know his password? Like, I said, I bet it's this. I'm like, what? And he got in. I was like, what? I was like, this dude doing some voodoo magic. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. Like, how he know
Ah.
his password and everything? Like, dang. Like, bro, yeah. He was
Uh,
willing to do everything. He got everything set up for me. Yeah. And
oh, yeah.
shipped off as soon as school was over. And I was like, dang, this is crazy.
Oh, man. Yeah. After I think I was. It was pretty early after I'd signed up, and I came to the office for my what's it called the depths,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and I think I showed up way too early. And
Mm.
the Marines, the Marine guys were there, unsurprisingly. And he saw me and he was like, "Wow, you really want to join the Navy?" I was like, "Yeah, why not?" You know, I was very
Mm.
naive back then. Yeah, I was so excited. He was like, "Are you a real man?" I said, "What? I think so. I think I said, all the girlfriends I've had in the past said I was a man, so that's not the way to know a real man." I said, okay. Got to know a real man by joining the Marines. I said, nobody has told me that before. I said, well, I'm telling you that now.
Right,
He
right.
started going and going, and I was like, well, but I was told that the only reason to join the Marines is if you need somebody to take a bullet for you. I was like, oh boy.
I heard some stories like that too, man. Oh man.
Yeah. He came close to chewing me out, but yeah, I think I was lucky that my recruiter showed up around then, so it saved my
Oh,
life.
perfect.
Then
Perfect.
another time I showed up a little bit early. It was the Air Force guys that were there, and then they called
Mm.
me to sit down at their office, and they started talking to me like, "Oh, if you're signed up with us, you could have gotten this, or you could have gotten that. I was like, oh man, can I switch?
Right. I'll tell you, man. Them plans and them options, man. Be like, hold on. Dang, I could have done this. What?
Oh,
Oh man.
oh man, I was like, oh yeah, those recruiters, they're not how to rub it in your face.
Exactly, man. They got them little tactics, man. They got them tactics for
Wow.
real.
Ah. So before we dive deep into the Marines, what are some popular Texan lingua that you still speak? I think I've noticed one or two
Mm,
while you're talking, but yeah, what are some other lingua that are
uh,
just only for your part of Texas?
I mean, I haven't been there in a minute though, but I think a lot of people always say like man or
Hmm.
no one talk about like
Yeah.
we say it fast. I kind of slow it down just for people to understand what I'm saying. Because if not, they're like, what did he say? They know what I'm talking about. They're like, okay, got it. So that
Like, one time I went to a convenience store and I had someone say, I want to buy. I'm trying to get. He needs a pop. I'm trying to get pop. Uh,
mm,
like what? What?
yeah.
And by the time I was confident enough to start befriending some of the neighbors, and they started talking about how they knew people who weren't from the area, and and these were black guys. And
Mm,
I just sat down with them that day, and they were like, "Yeah, we see you around. You don't talk to us." And I was like, "Oh no, I didn't really know how to make friends." So
right.
and so I went and brought a bottle of from my house. Like, hey, you guys drink this? They're like, they never had that drink before, but yeah, if I'm offering, they'll drink. So that's
Oh
how we
yeah.
sat down, started talking, and they were like, yeah, someone says, I think it was Dr. Pepper's, and
Mm,
they were like, yeah, we'll call it pop.
right.
This
Oh
was in
yeah,
the
yeah.
FW, and they were like, we'll call it pop. We don't, yeah, you guys call it soda.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, yeah, I would have never passed that test. I would have just gone in there and said, Dr. Pepper. I'm not going to come there and say pop. what the hell will I think about pop?
Yeah, you know what? Because a lot of people, I think, especially especially in Texas too, I think a lot of people kind of got like their own little sayings with it and stuff. Because I think we always just say, "Yeah, give me some soda, give me a soda out the fridge and stuff like that." But it's like I guess like different parts in Texas too, people probably use pop a lot too.
Mm.
So I was like, "Oh, what?" I was like, oh, "Okay, pop, okay." I was like, I thought people more northern say that. Well, I was like, okay, people in Texas say it too. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that was like, yeah, when they said that, I was like, wow, that was something I would have ever thought about. That there were some slight differences, like, and then
mm,
as I put in two and two together, I was like, well, even in Nigeria, I think it was probably until my adult years that we started saying soda.
mm.
We never even said soda. It was just as a kid, it was mineral. That's the funny thing.
Ah,
They
what?
say, go buy a
What?
bottle of mineral. Like in most areas, they'll say, go buy a bottle of mineral. That meant soda.
Oh, word.
Then if they said Fanta, Fanta meant anything orange.
Oh, man.
So if there was no Fanta, you could buy any substitute for Fanta. But then
Right.
Fanta did not mean buy just the Fanta brand. It meant anything orange. So if a kid said, I want to drink Fanta, it didn't mean that kid wanted to drink Fanta only. It meant anything orange. But Fanta was like, Coca-Cola was, it's always the most popular brand. So anything by the Coca-Cola names meant everything went by that. So it just Fanta meant everything orange. So
Right. Oh,
and
man. Dang.
Seven Up was like the only name that was outside of the Coke brand that was by itself.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think even Seven Up was probably more popular than Sprite at one
Oh,
point in time.
yeah. 7 Up. Oh, man. I ain't had that in a long time.
Yeah,
7 Up.
I can't remember the last time I drank Seven Up, but yeah, Seven Up was huge, and then there was some stuff like Crest. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I was remember hearing that. Okay.
Those
Dang.
were supposed to be for adults. And if a kid requested that kid was like, he committed a cardinal sin. Well, I used to be that kid who would be like, what do you want to drink? Crest. And you see all adults in the room just turn and frown. What that dare this kid? But the overall name was Mineral. Like I want to go buy a bottle of mineral. Oh, that meant soda. Who came up with that? I don't know, but that's
That was his line for.
if
Oh
you were
man.
in Nigeria and you're like, what are they talking about? And then you see somebody come with like 5 bottles of soda, like, oh, that's soda. Like people like, what is soda?
I'd be so confused. Like what?
Like,
Like
oh, they're
soda?
talking
What
about
is that?
mineral, man, soda. So I don't even know the day I made that realization that soda meant mineral. Like, and like when? Yeah, I don't even know when that realization. But I was an adult when it was like, okay, I stop. I'm no more going to say mineral. It's soda. And I don't even know if I even mentioned to someone back home, like, okay, do you guys drink soda? No, I don't even know. I just say Coke, Sprite.
Yeah. Just say the name. It's safer now.
It's
Just say the
safer now, but yeah, but as a kid, all of us, I think if I talk to someone in my generation or older, I say, oh, you guys, you remember when we used to go buy minerals? Oh yeah, mineral, yeah, Coke, 7 Up, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Then the malt is different. That's a different category on its own.
Oh man, okay. Oh man. I want to hear one of them.
I can't recall what malt drinks were called or if they were just malt drinks. But I think the most popular brand was something on this. I think Maltina was the most popular brand. That just consumed. So every other malt drink fell under that. So they just went by the most popular. I think that's what Nigerians usually did. Just went with the most popular brand, and then everything fell under it. So whoever had most popular brand was happy.
Oh, God, see now. I
on the
see.
market, and everybody fell under you. And like, okay, yeah, Malta Guinness, yeah, you there, Vita Malt, you there, and everybody's like, yep. You show up to the store, and like, okay, can I get Maltina? And they're like, okay, well, I don't have Maltina. Okay, what do you have? I have Vita Malt, I have this and that. Okay, I'll take the other one. All right, you take it home. And then when you get home, you have to explain why you don't come with Maltina. And then if your family likes whatever you bought, yeah, you good.
Oh man, dang, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But yeah, yeah, that's
That's a new one.
for us.
That's a new one.
Yeah. So you when you joined the Marines, how old were you when you joined the Marines?
Oh man, I was what? I was 18.
Okay,
I was 18 when I joined, straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school. So this was the first time you left your hometown?
Not really. I went when I was in middle school. I was doing summer track.
Okay.
I got out. What was the first place I went? I went to Sacramento, California.
Oh.
And the first time ever leaving Texas, my hometown, everything. I was like, whoa, like, I mean, me, because I'm still young, so I don't really know like what to expect. I'm like, oh man, like, oh, California, like, oh, Cali, like, oh, what is this? I don't know nothing about Cali. So went out there and I was like, dang, I didn't know, you can explore while running. So I'm like, I can run and visit different places. Oh man, let me keep running there. So went to Nebraska.
Wow.
Omaha, Nebraska. Went there. Second time left, and then the third time it was in Texas, but it was like I think towards the east side. It was I think it was what McAllen, Texas. I think McAllen. I think it was McAllen, Texas. It was like right near the border. Yeah, and one of my friends' parents had came down too for the track meet, and we went across the border.
Wow.
But coming back, that was a different story.
Oh, what's that story?
That was a different story. So we was all trying to come back. I think we spent maybe like less than an hour or so in Mexico, and then when we came back going across the border. Everybody else made it through except me and one of my other friends, other teammates. We both didn't have like an ID on us. We all we had, I think, was like a school ID, and that was it. But there was actually like like actual documents like passport state ID or something. And we was like, man, we don't got none of that. We like, you too young. We don't got none of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking like in my head, I'm like, dang, how much money I got in my pocket because I'm about to stay in Mexico. I ain't gonna lie, I was about to be scared. I was like, dang, man, I ain't trying to stay in no Mexico, dog. Come on, man. Like, I was kind of scared for a moment. And then the person at the gate, he was like, I don't know, I think either my friends' parents talked to the people or some, or I don't know, maybe he just felt like, hey, they don't belong in Mexico. And just like we just say, hey, just show us your school ID and then just go through. And I was like, oh, word. I'm like, oh, here you go, boom, done. I was like, oh my God. I was thanking God. I said, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me not stay in Mexico because I don't got enough money to stay in Mexico right now. Come on, man.
Oh man.
It was kind of scary, man. I was like, oh God. No, no, no.
I can only imagine as a teenager what would have been going through your mind back then.
Man. I think I only had like $50 to my name too. So I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I can only imagine because at that age, you're just gonna be panicking.
Yeah,
There's no two ways about it because it's something that you've never ever dreamt about. A foreign place. It's not like if you are at this age
mm-hmm.
that you are, you're more of an adult now. You know, our age right now, it's something that you'll be less panicky.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
you've seen life, you've known people, you met people from everywhere. You can put two and two together. You can be like
Exactly.
but when we're all teenagers, man, we'll be off the roof. Ah, we're like, oh my God, the fall is falling over. It's over. We're dead.
Exactly. I'm like, man,
Like, what do
I
we
like
do? We didn't know anything
exactly.
then. All we did was all of the bad stuff. Oh no, they're gonna take me. Oh no, it's
Yeah.
over. Life's over.
They try to go to jail in
Tell my
Mexico at
parents
this
I love
age.
them.
Yeah. I was like, can I get a phone? I was like, man, I don't
Tell them
know
I
what to
tried.
say. Exactly. Like I'm about to cross the border, man. Like how y'all get across the border? Let me know, man. I need to go
Uh,
ASAP.
so, with all these experiences that you had, did it make your life in the Marines um, a little bit easier or go smoother? Or how did that help you?
Ooh, I think a little bit, but then I guess as far as like doing like sports type stuff, like I was like I'm good, like I'm perfect, like fresh from high school, always been running track, so like I'm kind of used to all the running stuff. But I guess more like the mental thing
Yeah,
was kind of annoying though. It
of
was
course.
annoying. It was annoying, especially I guess being so young too. So just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, you know what? Don't say nothing. Just do what you told. And just keep it moving. Don't worry about nobody else. But then later on down the line, when I was in training, they put me in the squad leader position. So I'm like, I'm in charge of people. So I'm like, yo, man, I don't want to be in charge of nobody, man. I just want to be the normal guy and do my time and get up out of here. That's it. So they put me in that leadership position, and I was like, "Oh God!" And um, yeah, I start paying for all their mistakes and all that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And it was just kind of like, I mean, I guess in a way it was good too, just kind of like have that experience too. It's like, okay, got people in charge of you, got to make sure they, taken care of and all this type of stuff. So it's like I didn't really think about that until like now, but
Yeah.
if I knew about that beforehand, then I took it more, serious. But I was just like, man, I ain't trying to take this job, man. I just want to be normal. Get up, do my job, get up on, go on to the next spot. That's it. But all those kind of things. But it's just mentally wise, I just think it was just a little tough at times. But then just I thought about saying, you know what? They just human beings. They got a job to do. So like, hey, just shut up, just do what you gotta do, keep going. And that was just kind of like my mindset throughout the rest of my time during the training phase.
I don't think any one of us was. Well, I think most of us who were from certain backgrounds were not when we got put or trust into leadership positions, we're always with that mentality of, I don't want this. Like, let me just be in the background. I already figured it out that, I'll just do what I'm told, and
Yeah.
I can play along. That I'm good with that. But I don't want to be in charge of people. I don't want to be
Yeah.
responsible for anybody's decisions or
Mm-hmm.
actions. And then it's later on that we'll look back in retrospect and like, okay, that was the beginning of us officially learning how to take charge of
Yep.
people and dealing with mistakes and dealing with engagement and how to negotiate that field of when you're in charge of a team and you have people who don't want to play ball and don't want to.
Exactly.
How do you navigate that field? And
Yeah.
all those things you learn from it. You learn from it, and sometimes you get thrust into teams that you don't want to be part of, or
Exactly.
that are not the best teams for you, but you still have to learn how to deal with it. And but if those things didn't happen back then, when we thought we were never ready, we wouldn't be able to be in a position today where we can pick our own teams, where we can choose those we want to work with and who deserve to work with us.
Right.
So that's what helped us back then, because back then we were like, I still remember when the first day I came into work and, my LP was like, oh yeah, I have a medical appointment and you're the best guy in the shop anyway, so you're going to be in charge of those 8 guys out there. I'm like, what? You're going to be in charge of the 8 guys. Here's the plan of the day. Yeah, make sure everything is running. I'll see you. I don't know if I'll be back today. I'll see you tomorrow. What? I see. What? What are you talking about?
What's going on? Like, for real? You gonna leave me like that, man? Come on.
Like, can you go outside and make the announcement? And on his way out, it's like, oh yeah, Harry's in charge, and he just leaves.
That's crazy,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
That's crazy.
You can imagine what's that? What the? Who? Then yeah, and it's like everybody turns around, and I'm in one corner, like trying to hide behind a pillar. And, of course, they didn't go well. Nobody wanted to do anything I was saying, and then I had to call headquarters. The main guy comes down, chews people's butts. Did he put you in charge? I said yes. He said, all right, listen to him. And I was like, yeah. And then by the third time of me having to call him, he was like, dude, I ain't gonna be coming down here and telling them you got to take charge.
Right.
I was like, okay. Man. From okay. And then I started finding my voice slowly, but I had to take charge eventually. And I took charge. And before you know it, I'm winning awards, I'm winning respect and all that. But the very first day, I was hiding in the corner. Because I did not think the very first time I showed up there, I did not think in my wildest imagination that I was going to be a leader.
Right.
So that was not what I thought about. That was never my wildest dream. So but I had it in me, and you had it in you. We all had it in us. That's the thing. It's not like we never had it. We all were born leaders. That's the funny thing. But we just we were never programmed to see ourselves in those positions of leadership.
Right.
So sometimes we just had to be pushed, and that's what they just pushed us.
That's how I looked at it a lot too, because I guess when I first got to when I got to Hawaii, was that the person, my NCO, he was in charge of me. He was like, I want to make sure you get promoted quickly as possible. And I was like, what? I'm like, oh, okay. And like I say, probably within like 6 months being there, like they put me on like the promotion boards. Like I was always on the boards. I'm like, oh, what the hell? I'm like, what are y'all doing, man? I'm not ready for all this kind of pressure right now. I was like, oh, we want you to do everything. We want you to get promoted quickly as possible. I was like, oh, dang, I like that though. I was just feeling too pressured, but I was just like, okay, I can do it. And they made me study a whole bunch of questions and stuff like that, and they tested me and everything. They made sure that I got all my uniforms situated and everything. I was like, dang. I was like, oh man, that got me under pressure too much. But I mean, and again, it did help me out in the long run, because then I got promoted, but not like from the board or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I did get promoted like normal, and then I got promoted again a little bit quicker than other people, pretty much.
Mhm.
So it did help me out in a way, even though I didn't get it that way, but I did get it
Yeah.
afterwards. So it was pretty good. So I was like, dang, I like this, and just be in charge. And I got to NCO level, and then I just like start running the shop like how you was. And every time I like staff NCOs and my other NCOs would come by, or some of the officers was like, "Oh, you got everything to take care of, Cedric?" I'm like, "Yep, got it." Like, okay, good to go. And I was like, "Oh man," it felt weird sometimes though, but just being in charge of everybody and make sure everybody good. And I think I let one of my non-NCOs, I let them go early, but then I paid for that mistake because my my officer, he was like, "Oh, you let so and so go?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, did you finish this?" I'm like, no. And he was like, "Oh, well, guess who got to do it?" I'm like, "Oh man." I was like, "Dang, why I let this dude off so early? He could have done it, and I could have been chill."
Yeah.
And then could have went home after he done that, and I was like, "Oh, okay, see, that's what happens. You try
Hmm.
to be the good guy, but you're trying to give slacks. Say, hey, be fair, respectful to everybody. But hey, everybody gotta do their job though first, and then they get reap the rewards after it. So it was just kind of funny though. It's like just learning,
Yeah.
little by little from that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Every action has a consequence.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you arrived on the island of Hawaii, and that was like a whole new experience
Oh man.
to you. How did that change your? How did that change who you were?
Uh, man, I think what was it? The first 3 months being on the island, I think I was just more just like man, I hate this place. It's like I'm stuck on a rock, man. Like I can't do nothing. Like, come on, man. It's like I'd rather be in Texas than be stuck on this island. Because I was talking to one of the people in charge that can like get me to move to closer to home somehow. And it was like, okay, you got to be out here for a little bit longer though before you can do it. And I said, okay, I'm willing to do it because when I go back to Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
So was talking to the person, and then after a while, I think about a year and a half or the first two, I was just like, dang, it's like this island pretty cool though. It's kind of mellow. Everybody kind of relax, they kind of chill. Not really like stressing out and whatnot. And I was just like, dang, this I'm different now. It started getting to me, and then I think what was that? What was that in '09? In '09, when I was getting ready to leave, like I was like, dang man, it's like if I leave here, like things ain't gonna be the same. And I was because I think I was starting absorbing like all the island life and just like, man, it's just like cool. Like, even though I'm from Texas, but like living here now is just like I feel like peaceful. Like I feel, relaxed. I don't feel really pressured. And I don't know. A lot of people's like, "Oh, like you from Texas?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm from Texas." Like, are you sure? I'm like, "What?" So I don't know. Maybe like my lingo or the way I talk, like maybe like got different over that time while I was being out there, and just like people can't really tell. It's like, "Oh, where you from?" I'm like, "Oh, dang, are you sure?" So people questioning me where I'm from, but it was just I could say that Hawaii kind of changed me like kind of like in a good way. It just kind of like I felt more of like reflecting on life a little bit more, like
Mhm.
being out there and stuff. So looking at
So
that,
you kind of embraced the island. You embraced the culture. You embraced the
yeah,
life there, and you didn't allow that first 3 months of uh, where you had that negative feeling
mm,
decide your whole time there. Like, oh, this is it. I'm done, and you
right,
started to embrace the whole environment and became part of Hawaii.
yep,
That changed everything for you.
yep, definitely, man. That was like I don't know. It just felt like I was not say I want to say born again, but I was just I was awakened.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Wiki, that works.
So yeah, so it woke like a lot of those little, I guess those those things. I guess those little parts of the mind that I guess was just kind of like in hide and stuff. Just like, oh man, like I guess I came more open to a lot of things that was
Mm.
going around me, especially like what was that? Different nationalities. Yeah, that was the number one thing that was really big. That opened my eyes. I was like, oh, this person, what are you? Like, oh, I'm Hawaiian. Like, oh, Hawaiian. Like, oh, Samoan. Oh, Samoan. Fijian. Like, dang. Like, what are you? Micronesia. What is this? Like, I never heard that stuff like that in Texas at all. So it's just kind of like, dang. Like, this is just like a whole pot of like different people like stuck here on this rock. Like, dang, like Japanese, Koreans. I was like, dang. Back in Texas, I think it was just like Vietnamese people. That was like the number
Yeah,
one Asian group
large
was
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. So, me seeing Japanese, Korean, I was like, oh, I didn't want to fall in that same stereotype. It's like, oh, all Asians look alike, all these look alike. Just like, oh man, like I start paying attention, like, oh, that's not Vietnamese. Oh, that's a Japanese person. Oh, that's a Korean person. Like everything started
Mhm.
clicking. I was like, oh man, dang. Like, I'm realizing who now. Like I could never do that back in the
Yeah. That's, it's deep. It is deep, and
Yeah,
it's
man.
good that you came to that realization because
Mm.
not everyone, I mean, I remember when I checked into my first command, and they were like, "Oh, you have an accent." I was meeting with my XO and the CEOs and all higher ups, and I think it was the XO that I met with first, and he's like, "Oh, you have an accent. Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Virginia." She's like, "Yeah, but where are you from?"
Yeah, see.
I said, what do you mean? Like, where were you born?" I said, "Oh, I was born in Nigeria." "Ah, so you're African?" I said, "Well, yeah, I was born on the continent of Africa, yeah." She's like, "Oh, yeah, so you speak French?" I said,
See.
"Well, there's parts of Africa that speak French, but I don't speak French." "You don't
Mm,
speak French? Wow, I'm surprised. Every African I've met speaks French." I said, "There are Africans who speak French, but I don't speak French. I was not born in a French-speaking country, although I had the
mm,
opportunity to learn French, but I did not learn French."
mm.
"Oh, okay. Oh, I'm surprised. Okay, well, welcome to the command, blah, blah." Then I meet the next person. "Oh, where are you from?" I said, "Virginia." Same thing. Same question. I'll go through that round. "So, do you speak French?" I'm like, "No, I don't speak French." "Wow, you're an African, you don't speak French?" I'm like, "Well, where did I get this impression from?" Like, no.
Right.
Go to the third person, same thing. "You're an African, you don't speak French?" I'm like, "No, I don't speak. Where? What?" Everybody gonna be asking me this question and that was it the whole day. "You don't speak French? You don't speak French? You guys know the Africans who speak Spanish, the
Right.
Africans who speak Portuguese, the Africans who
Right.
don't speak. There are like 3,000 languages in Africa. You guys aren't where you
Only
want
one, right?
like yeah. So why you like Nigeria has over 300 languages. You asking me about
Mm,
French? Why I got to speak French? You want me to start listing languages for you?" But
right.
it goes all the way French. So you don't speak French, and they had that disappointed look on their face, like, "Wow, you're African, you don't speak French." And I was like, "Wow." So someone has told you, or that's the impression that you have, like all Africans speak French, and
Mm,
that's the stereotype that they always used to.
see.
That was it at the command. So yeah, I became the African who does not speak French. And
Let's
then
see.
I would meet other Nigerian born guys in the command, and I now ask them, "Do any of you speak French?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "So
See.
where did they get this idea from
Right.
that
Right.
we
Right.
are,
Like
that
what?
we're not supposed to speak French?" Because they kept asking me like, "Do I speak French?" I'm like, "Oh, don't mind them." Yeah, I guess they met the Cameroonians. I mean, why the Cameroonians? Half of them
Mm,
speak French, half do not. So
mm.
what about that? Yeah,
See.
they don't even know that. So when they meet the ones who do not speak French, then it's going to be like another surprise. Like, "What? You're from
They're going around.
You don't speak French? What happened?" I'm like, "Yep, here we go." So
Yeah, yeah, I'll tell you, man. Like, it's like when they get that little thing, it's like, oh, you don't speak French? Hold up. I thought everybody speak French over there
yeah,
from Africa. Like, what? Like, no, you tripping. You
like
tripping.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I was like, yeah. But due to there being higher ups, I didn't play the card I usually played in boot camp, where when they used to ask me like, did you chase lions and monkeys and all that stuff? When they asked me,
Oh,
I'm like, no, but did you chase polar bears and grizzly bears? Did they run through your living room? I'm like, what? Why you say that, man? That's mean. And I don't like that. I said,
so now you see how I feel.
I did not know that. That's offensive. But I hope you can figure it out now.
Right,
I hope you
right.
figure it out, and they'll like, what do you mean? And then some didn't get it, some got it, but some will still be like, I don't get it. I'm like, oh well, I'll leave that to you to figure it out. But
Exactly.
and then they'll find the guy who the African who's like, oh no, we don't have lions. But I found lions. Or the one like, yes, I see lions. I run after lions. Yeah, they're like, you are not like Raphael. Raphael, he's not a nice African. He does not like telling us stories. You are cool. It'll be that guy. I'm like, yeah, go talk. Because I'm not the type.
I'm not the one. I'm not the one. Okay.
You two, this guy's been the higher ups in the command. It was my first day. I was like, you know what? I'll just play nice and say no. No, I'm not. I don't speak French. Otherwise, I would have been like, do you all speak German? Maybe do you all speak Russian? I'll just find. Look at your name. What's your name? Does the name sound like? It sounds like your name sounds German. Or your name sounds.
Right.
Then I'll just hit you with that language too. Then you'll be like, no, I was about your name. Like, what do you mean about my name? Your name. I know people. That name is, that name is from Luxembourg. What? Really? Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So you should be speaking all the languages they speak over there. Really? They speak all those? Yeah, they do. Oh, wow. So you not speak those languages? I'm surprised because everyone I've met from there speaks those languages. Now, when you do that to them, then they're like,
It confused them.
I'm like, aha. Oh, aha. Oh, aha.
So now you see. Yeah. Now you see now. They'd be like, oh, so I've been doing that too. Got it. My bad now. I'm sorry. I should never did that.
Some still wouldn't get it, but some start to make that. Oh wait, so I've been doing this for a long time. Aha.
Right.
I'm like, all right, now go forth and sin no more. I set you free.
Now you need to pay me for my services.
Give me the money.
I'll bill you later.
Reparations.
Exactly. I need 10% for your check every month.
For everyone you set free, I get my commission. Oh man, we can spend the whole day on that.
Right.
So, from Hawaii, that's when you decided to move to Japan, right?
Yeah.
And was it due to the interactions with the people that you met in Hawaii that you started to fall in love with Japan, or you started thinking about Japan?
I think it was more of what was that? I had I came to Japan before, actually twice. I went one time with the military. We was on we had a training exercise in Okinawa. We was out there for I think 29 days, I think. And we couldn't do anything because as soon as we got there, one of the guys that picked us up at the airport, they was like, they was like, oh, you came at the bad time. I was like, what? Like, what happened? I was like, oh, well, they got this happened. He was listing like 3 or 4 things that happened. I was like, what? I was like, all this stuff happens. Like, well, after all that stuff happened, the commanding general for out here in Oki, it was like, oh, well, it's going to be shut down. It's like, what? Like, shut down? I mean, not shut down, lockdown. We're going to be on lockdown. I was like, what? Like, you can't do nothing. You can't get off base. You can't do anything unless you go to another base.
One of those curfew.
Yeah. Right. And I was just like, what? I was confused. I was like, bro, like, it's my first time coming to Japan. And I was like, I can't do nothing? What? I'm be out like 29 days? I can't do nothing? Oh, bro. Like, just send me back to Hawaii, man. I ain't trying to be on no lockdown, man. Forget all that stuff, man. I ain't trying to be on lockdown. And so it was just out there for that time. And then, like, it's I think the last day, the last 2 days, I think they just lifted it. But then I was like, dang, what to do though? Because like,
Yes.
I ain't got no time. Like,
Mhm.
we were spending like 12-hour days doing this training stuff. I was like, man, I'm tired, bro. I'm like, hey, as soon as I get off this thing, like, I don't know what to do because I'm gonna be tired. So there ain't no point to even go out. So just like, yeah. Then the second time went out, it was another training exercise. Me and these guys, we went out in town with some of these Japanese soldiers, and it was just kind of like crazy. It was like, oh, we can go out, but technically we wasn't supposed to go out, but we was with them. So I'm like, maybe get a free pass because we were with them. So we went to like, I guess some like little karaoke bar or, excuse me, I went to like some karaoke bar. We sang over there and drank, and then like I don't know, we went to some bar or whatever too, and just chilled and stuff. So we all was just kind of like hanging out and just drinking and stuff. But I actually snuck off by myself.
Oh wow.
I was devious, man. Yeah, even the Oki too. Even the Oki, I did it too. I gotta tell you that one too. I'm gonna tell you the Oki one first. So I snuck off base in the taxi driver, and the taxi driver was like, I was like, oh, because they had like some little spot like right in front of the base. And I was like, oh no, not in front of the base. I went to a bar or something. I was looking up online, and I went to the bar. The bar was like dead. I was like, what? Like, what? The bar is dead. And then when I guess the staff who spoke English, I was like, oh, well, they got the curfew and the lockdown. I said, oh, I forgot about that. Dang.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was on like 3 people in there. I was like, man, I ain't about to be in here. Then I'm like, this is boring. Like, I gotta go. And found another taxi. Went to the spot that was like right in front of the base. And I was like, okay, let me go right here. I start walking around, and I hit a bar, and the staff was looking at me all crazy. It was like, oh, like I'm like, I felt like, did I commit a crime or something? Y'all staring at me like I killed somebody or something. So after I walked in, just like, oh no, you can't come in. I was just like, I thought it was kind of racist at first. I'm like, oh, like why I can't come in? I was like, oh, there was like the MP. I was like, oh, MP, like, oh, there was like they come and check the establishments and stuff like that. I was like, oh, got it. Now I
They
understand.
saved you.
Okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Good looking at
And
them.
right, right.
Yeah.
And then I got stuck, man. I got stuck. I got stuck in this. I got stuck in this crazy bar, man. This was like I don't know, how can you say these kind of bars? They call it buy me, drink me bars or something like that. So in tech the wording of it, like I got from a friend, and then there was like, well, you go to a bar and there's a cute girl and you buy drinks for her. I guess it's more higher though.
Yeah.
The prices are higher. So I was like, oh, I didn't know what the stuff was because like I didn't never know. It's my first time. So I was like, all right. So I bought like one drink and I was just like sipping it because like I don't know what's going on. And I didn't know that much Japanese. And besides like maybe like hello, how you doing?
Yeah.
And just talking a little bit and they talking back to me. I'm like, uh, I'm like, I don't know what you saying, man. Like, I'm stupid. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I was just like, as soon as I finished my drink, I was like, I guess the girl was like kind of like pointing to the drink and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'm like, I'm good. I don't got time to spend on drinks for you. I don't know you like that. And I went outside and I was trying to get back on base too. And I was just like, dang, it's like, if they see me walk from here to the base, they'll be like, "Oh, I didn't go from base to base." So I'm like, "Oh, I might get in trouble." Man, I kid you not, man. I spent at least, I think, like 2 hours outside the front gate trying to figure out what to do, and ran into some Japanese guy, taxi driver. And I was like, "Yo, man, like whatever Japanese I can." And I was like, "I need to get to the other base." And I was just panicking. Da, 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 da. And then next month later, I guess like we walked towards like the front of the establishment, like I guess the front by the road, and then what was that? They had a taxi that came by, and those ones like specifically just for the base
Mm.
only.
Yeah.
So the guy stopped that taxi, and then I got into the taxi, and I was like, I gave him a big hug because I was like, I was so scared because like I didn't want to get everybody else in trouble, you know. So I'm like, you know, I'm not from here. Like in the Hawaii station, so
Yeah.
I don't want to get everybody messed up. And then it's just like, oh man, I was like, I gave him a big hug because I was just so relieved. I was like, man, like, okay, I ain't never doing that ever again. Man, it was so scary, man. Like, you know, that.
To ask the lady you met at the bar,
Mm.
do you remember how much that drink cost you?
Oh man. So had to buy two. So me and for her. So I think, man, I think I spent maybe like what? I think like what? Like 2,000 yen. So I guess maybe like probably like 19, $20, I guess.
Okay, so that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but I mean, back then I was like, man, I was kind of stingy with money. I'm like, nah, I don't want to spend that much. Like I'm trying to save money. Like I can't do that down here, so I might as well save my money.
Yeah, I had to ask because they had something like that similar in Bahrain too.
Mm.
Yeah, but in Bahrain, but I think I can't remember now if it was only Russian ladies they used. They
Mm.
to use most slim, blonde looking type
Mm.
uh, ladies. I never was at a bar that something like that happened to me, but we heard about them. And you know they show up to you all this smooth chitty chatting like, oh, we're interested in you, but it's like you keep buying drinks from me, you keep buying drinks, and then
Yep.
next thing they hit you with a bill, and you're like, what? $1,000? What the? Yep,
Yep.
bro. Your whole paycheck gone.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Gone into drink.
Oh.
Yeah, the dudes did not realize that. The girls were working for the bar or the club, whichever establishment you met them at. So it's like the oldest trick in the book, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, some
man.
good looking and just dress her up and then shows up and bunch of sailors. It's a lot easier to just capture us. Those
Right.
who never knew that women existed in other nationalities, and oh my God, I never seen a girl like this. Look at me before. I know.
Yeah.
Just
It happened to me
paying
too.
for drinks, and then the bill arrives. What is this? It becomes sober on the spot right there.
Yeah, that bill hit you quick, like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah,
No.
yep. And that dude is broke now, eating ramen on for the rest of the or eating on base for the rest of the
He ain't doing nothing.
yeah. So they used to give us a lot of warnings about that. They held what we call the orientation and talk.
Mm.
And yeah, I recall one. I think it was only once that something like that almost happened. We had the souk, and my boy was like he was really hungry, and we just found this random place that we had never eaten at before. We sat down there to eat, and before the menu even arrived, three they claim to be Chinese. They claim to be.
Mm.
They just came out on us and they wouldn't like we want to order food and they wouldn't even let us. Yeah, well, they just all over us. You order drink, bad drink for me, and it was all speaking blood.
Oh man.
And like, girl, we're hungry. Yeah, but I think they also offered massages too. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, this is going way too extra.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm hungry. I need food. Let me order food.
Exactly.
We can talk any other thing. And no. But yeah, so I think I don't think we'll even order food there. We just had to leave because the attention was way too much. It was way.
Oh man.
We were just hungry. We were really hungry, but we came there for food. It wasn't like we came there for. This was like even 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So
Oh, so yeah.
time. We were like, yeah. So if it was night time, that's different. Yeah. So yeah, we just had to leave and go find food because it was like, well,
Right.
the boys are hungry. Let the boys eat.
Yeah, man.
Then
You
we can
trying to
talk.
eat.
You know. But yeah, so I think that was the closest that we ever came to meeting those type of ladies. But we knew, but I was always talking to taxi drivers. So yeah, so I think that's one thing that saved me from falling into the hands of those ladies.
Oh, perfect. See, yeah, I ain't had none of that. Oh, you just made me think of this. It's like a quick story though. To this, what was that? Me and my buddies that I met on the base in Hawaii was walking down the street in the main part of Hawaii in the city, and we just walking down the street, and then I was like, some girl came up to me, right, and like she had some revealing clothes a little bit, and I didn't really pay too much mind of it at first, but then she was like, put her hand on me, was like, oh hey, sexy, and I'm like, oh sexy, I'm like, oh, like I'm 18, so I'm like, dang, I'm like, hey, what's up?
That's like
Like,
that. You have that. It's yeah. Those alien.
man, I lost my mind too because I'm like, dang, and my boy's like, nah, you don't want that, you don't want that. I'm like, what you mean? Like, I'm going to chase that. They're like, nah, she a working girl. I was like, working girl. I'm like, oh, all right, you're right. All right, let's go. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. I was like, dang. And I was like, because I ain't never really like seen stuff like that, so it just kind of caught me off guard. I was just like, dang, bro, like it was trippy. It was trippy.
Military is full of dudes who, first time away from home, first time away from their hometowns, first time they've been exposed to all these, and that's how lots of love stories are born.
Yep.
Because
yes.
you get the orientation, you get all that. It sounds like, yeah, but it can never happen to me. And then, fine, it happens, and then it's like, oh, I fell in love.
Right.
Like, just got the orientation, but next week, do submitting paperwork. I want to get married. What? You just got here and you're getting, I'm going to get married. Like, I'm going to get married. What? I want to get married. I know someone like that. The first time I heard he was married, I was like, wow, you married? I never thought you were married. Oh, yeah, man. Before I came to the command, old Facebook, you could look up who lives in the town, and it's kind of stalking in a way. But,
right.
And he said he saw this lady and sent a message, oh, I'm coming to Virginia Beach. You live there, and he just sent a message. Unfortunately, he sent a message to one of such ladies, and started chatting, and shows up, and wow, she's the most beautiful woman I've seen.
Man,
yeah, man, nothing wrong with that. But she was one of those ladies. She was, yeah. And by the time he found out, he was already married.
Dang.
He was already married. They had a kid together, and yeah, and she wasn't even a citizen. So all that's into play, and then he's now being all, because he was saying, he was going to retire in our country. He was going to move to our country and all that. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know if you know her country. He just, and I was like, yeah, he'll figure it out. And then, yeah, I think they're divorced now. It's just sad how he like now moved to the extreme after the divorce, like anti-immigration and all that stuff. And I'm like, you just didn't know. That's all.
That was the biggest thing.
You don't have to be extreme. You were young. You did not know stuff about life, and it was bound to happen. We all made mistakes.
Right.
I made mistakes. You made mistakes, but you have to learn from it. You don't have to become an extremist just because of that.
Definitely.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's how a whole lot of angry men are turn out in the military and like, yeah, we hate women. And I'm like, you don't hate women. You just hate that you fell for that.
Yep.
Now that you know better, instead of moving on to find someone who you can love and appreciate, you're like, you're still holding on to that when you were younger, that happened to you, and you want to now bash
pushing on forward. Yeah.
I'm in contact with. I'm like, it's an industry. Just, I don't know, the industry that's in the military about.
Oh man,
around the bases.
Man, that's gonna be like a never-ending story on those.
We'll pay for military men and women to marry them. The ones who just focus on the naive ones, like those of us who just signed up and like, oh, we're gonna be getting women from and they tell us like, hey, you're not getting the women or the men. They're getting You think you're getting them, they're getting you. They're like, oh,
Exactly.
I'm getting free action. I'm getting free. They love me because I'm a tough guy now. I'm a tough girl now. Yeah, you're not. You think you're getting them. They're getting them.
Right.
Like my in boot camp, my recruiter said, my RDC said, now that once you graduate from boot camp, there's a target on your head.
Yeah. Yep.
Most of us come out thinking that the target on our forehead is only from the Al Qaeda's, the whatever terrorist groups in the world, or the spy organizations from other countries. He said, that's not really your biggest enemy. Your biggest enemy is waiting right outside every base that you moved.
Exactly.
And I don't think any of us took him seriously. None of us took him seriously, because I think by the time I remember that speech that he made, it will be almost 3 years in the Navy. And I was like, wow, this dude actually warned us. He told us. He told us. They know when you're getting your paycheck. They know everything about you. They know more than you know. They know. Look at every base around. There's always a strip club around. There's escorts agencies around it. Everything around. There's liquor stores. There's everything around every base. People around it, they know how we operate. They know our lifestyle.
Everything.
And we just assume like, oh, they care about us. They don't. They care about our pockets.
Exactly.
They care about what they can get from us. And that's it.
Man.
And we just assume like, no, around the world is the same thing. When I was in Bahrain, as soon as a military personnel arrives on the base who's of Filipino, who's a Filipino American, the Filipino Association in Bahrain knows. They're like, if it's a male, is he single? We got a girlfriend for him. It doesn't take long for that guy.
That's crazy.
Get hooked up with one of the Filipino civilians around. The female, it doesn't take long. They're like, well, if the female doesn't want to get hooked up with a Filipino in the military, they're like, we got a Filipino guy who's walking out here. This guy has never been married before. He does a great job. They start matching your profile. They're like, bam, 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 quickly.
Man.
They start trying. So
Match.com.
my home girl, who she was into black guys, she did not date Filipino since she joined the military. She was like a persona non grata to the Filipino community, because she didn't even go to lunch with the Filipino association in the military. She hung out with us and all that stuff until she needed a favor towards the end of her stay in Bahrain. And she was now going to them. They're like, oh, now you know us.
You want to come to us now? Okay.
You be hanging around black people. We see you. You don't come around us. Now you know us. You don't have even a Filipino boyfriend. Aha. Yep. Now fulfill your role. Today she's out of the Navy. She's married to her husband. She met her husband in the Navy. So black guy. So it worked out in the end. But yeah, they take that stuff seriously. They take it seriously. All my Filipino buddies in the Navy that I know who were single in Bahrain, they all married Filipino civilians. Yeah, they got married. Now I think most of them, if you ask them, they'll tell you, "Oh, I picked my wife."
Yeah.
They engineered that stuff. They knew how they engineered it. If you met a Filipino civilian, a Filipino lady who was single, the highest you would get is a fling. If you weren't Filipino, you get a fling with her. That's it. But you weren't ending up. It was difficult for you to end up with her, except if then they were like, okay, maybe that one can go. But most of them, if they found someone, that girl is gone. They found someone for the girl, they hook you up, and it was like, wow, there's stuff going on. People didn't realize all this stuff. That the Ethiopians had their stuff going on. The other groups had their stuff going on, and I was like, wow, these guys have sat down and calculated this stuff. People are falling for this. My former roommate, same thing, came to me one day. I was like, hey, man, I found a lady. She's a I'm in love and I'm getting married. I was like, wow, cool. How long you know the lady? She said, about 6 months. I said, okay, well, at least you didn't say 2 weeks. So hey, that's good. So it's something like if someone writes a book about it, you can write like 10 volumes.
Dang! Oh
Right,
my
10 volumes.
God!
Japan to Guam to Bahrain to Italy to every foreign base. There's a large community around. They study every guy who they see is single. Oh, we got somebody for you. If you belong to one ethnic group, they start matching you to ethnic group. If you don't believe, if you're white, white goes to everybody. It's like, so it's amazing how this. I just sat down and started looking at it like, wow, okay. I just started to watched it for one time, and I was like, there are people out there like, yeah, we need to get our people citizenship, green cards, and this is the fastest way. And that's it.
Yeah.
So if you know if you know any military personnel who's married to someone they met overseas, they're like, oh, we're having trouble in our marriage. The first question that I ask them is, has your spouse gotten their green card? He says no. I said, well, get them their green card. Life will be a lot easier for both of you.
Right. Definitely.
Thanks everyone for listening to this episode of White Label American. Desi and myself decided to break it into 2 parts. Make sure to stick around for part 2 coming out next week. Thanks so much for listening.